Hi ladies, hi, thank you for being with me. Welcome back, hope you're all okay. I'm a bit of sixes and sevens today, so you're going to have to forgive me because I'm having one of those days where I'm sort of playing catch up all the while. I'm sort of a bit flustered. I'm always trying to sort of catch up with myself. I'm doing one job, not finishing it, going on to another, going into rooms, forgetting what I'm doing in there and all that. I know you know what I mean, so just bear with me if I forget what I'm saying halfway through, just bear with me. But today I just want to chat with you very quickly about something that may be making your menopause symptoms worse or better depending on how you're looking after them, and that is your adrenal glands. Now, your adrenal glands are something that you've probably never given much thought to. You probably don't even know what they do, where they are in the body or anything, but they really are quite important for hormone balance. They can make a huge difference to your hormone production. I'll tell you why in a minute, but I just want to show you quickly, just in case you've forgotten your biology lessons at school. I've just printed this off for you because that's how kind I am. But here is your kidneys here. Now, sitting on top of your kidneys are two like little walnut-shaped glands, and they're your adrenal glands, just very tiny, and they sit on top of the kidneys. So that's where they are in the body. So, okay, so that now you know. And basically what they do is they produce hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, DHEA, which you're probably familiar with. But these adrenal glands, they also take over production of estrogen once our ovaries shut down. So as you know, and I've said in every video that I do, once you reach menopause, your hormones are at an all-time low. And I say this every week, and I'm sure you're getting fed up of me saying it by now, but basically when you reach menopause, which is when you've gone those 12 complete months without having a period, you will have reached menopause. This normally happens around the age of 51, 52. If it happens earlier, if it's happening sort of 40 or 45, 50 or whatever, then you need to go 2 complete years without having a period. Once you reach that stage, whether it's 2 years or 1 year, you will be confirmed of reaching menopause, and you are now going to be post-menopause for the rest of your days. Your hormones are at an all-time low. They're never going to increase again naturally, and you will be post-menopause for the rest of your days. So that's what that means. But what is supposed to happen is when you've reached menopause, your body can still produce small amounts of estrogen via the adrenal glands. Not in any huge amounts like it was from your ovaries, but it could be just enough to make the difference of making your menopausal symptoms a little bit better. So it really is worth taking the time and trouble to look after your adrenal glands and making sure they're in good condition. And what happens is your adrenal glands, they change a hormone that we have called androgen. They change this hormone into estrogen, and they do that by an enzyme that we've all got in our body called aromatase. Now, aromatase changes these androgen hormones into the estrogen, like I said, and this aromatase is actually produced in our fatty tissue in the body. So all of our fat cells that we've got are full of this enzyme, so it's all in our body. And basically what happens is your body converts it, and it holds on to this hormone, so it could almost actually stop you from losing weight as well. So you know, like when we're in menopause, and so many of us have a problem with losing weight, we can't get rid of weight, and what it is our body's actually almost like in withdrawal symptoms from not having enough estrogen. So it senses that we've got this estrogen floating around in our fat cells in our body, and our body sort of thinks, hang on, I'm going to hold on to these fat cells. I don't want these fat cells shrinking. I want all of the estrogen that I can get, thanks very much. So this makes it really hard for you to lose weight, and you'll find that, I mean, apart from when you go through menopause, the fundamental shift in our hormones, it means that fat is going to be distributed on our tummies and our waist areas rather than our hips and thighs. So we lose those curves, and we sort of our waist thickens, our waistbands feel tighter, so we feel like we're putting on more weight. So that could be one of the reasons why you're finding it difficult to lose weight. But many of us actually suffer from adrenal fatigue during menopause. Now, if you do have adrenal fatigue, the ability to produce estrogen is going to be compromised because your adrenal glands are actually going to be worn out. They're not going to be able to function properly, and this bit of estrogen that could be helping you now could be compromised because your glands are actually worn out. But the main task of the adrenal glands is actually to rush all of the body's resources into this sort of fight or flight mode, you know, when you're sort of on constant alert. What happens is this increases the adrenaline and the cortisol that's being pumped out around your body. And when you're in this constant state of high alert, you're actually producing too much. So your adrenal glands become stressed, they become worn out, it's constantly producing this adrenaline and cortisol that's going on. And when you're in menopause, I think we all know how stressful menopause can be, especially if you've got either young children or teenagers, both bring their own set of problems. You're going through menopause, or you may be trying to hold down a job at the same time. You've got no energy, you're tired, you're not sleeping. All of these things can compound the effect it's having on your adrenal glands because you're living in this constant stressful state. So you're constantly producing all of these hormones. And you're tired, you're exhausted, you're worn out. And so what happens is this will actually increase your heart rate, it's going to increase your blood pressure, your digestion slows down, and your glands are going to become totally and utterly fatigued. They're going to become worn out due to this constant high amount of adrenaline and cortisol that they're producing. So when we're unable to when the body's unable to sort of keep up with this constant need, it affects how our adrenal glands are working as well, and also they won't be able to produce this much needed estrogen that we now need because they're not working properly. And this also will have a knock-on effect with your calcium and magnesium levels, because when your body is in a high stressful state, your body uses more calcium and it uses more magnesium. So obviously that's not good for us, because when we're living without estrogen, we lose the protective effects of this hormone on our bones. Our bones become weak, we can suffer from osteoporosis, our bones can fracture a lot more easily. So basically your body's using more of this calcium now and magnesium to cope with adrenal fatigue, which can have a knock-on effect with that. And cortisol also actually has an effect on your sleeping pattern, because what happens is cortisol follows our natural sleep pattern, our natural circadian rhythm. So basically when the sun comes up, cortisol levels are supposed to go up, and when the sun goes down, then cortisol is low. So ideally, if it's working properly, then the cortisol levels begin to raise about 6 a.m, peak at about 8, and then they sort of go up and down throughout the day as your body needs them. So obviously if this is all out of sync because your adrenal glands are sort of pretty fatigued, then it's going to affect your sleeping pattern. You've got that vicious circle going on. You're trying to sleep, your cortisol levels up, then it goes down when it shouldn't, and you're going to be constantly further affected with your sleeping problems. So the more we can look after our adrenals, the better. And the symptoms are very, very similar to our menopause symptoms. And I'm talking about here like fatigue, especially in the mornings when you just find it quite hard to get going, decreased libido, depression, when you've got that fuzzy sort of thinking, that's those spacey moments that we all get, memory loss, poor focus, bone loss, sleep problems, hair loss, weight gain, sore muscles, all of these types of things. I mean, there are quite a few more as well, but I've chosen those because they do sort of mirror our menopause symptoms, so it can compound them even further. And I think in order to actually address this problem, we need to look at how we can reduce our stress in the body and in the mind. That is the most important thing that we can do. We also need to be able to look at eating the right foods and eliminate the wrong foods. This is going to make a huge difference to your adrenal glands. It's also important not to skip meals. Now, this is something that I'm not very good at because I tend to wake up in the morning and I'm not particularly hungry. I'll have my lemon and hot water, or I'll have a cup of tea or something. not particularly hungry, so I think I'll have breakfast in a couple of hours or so. And then it's not always convenient for me to eat breakfast, and I'm probably driving or in a meeting or something, and then I sort of leave it until lunchtime. So I do need to practice what I'm preaching here, because what happens is you've been asleep all night, our blood sugar is quite low, and this creates stress in the body, and cortisol actually works to control our blood sugar levels. So if we haven't got any energy, we haven't got any food in our body to raise our blood levels, then it puts extra strain on our cortisol levels, so that again puts strain on our adrenal glands. So eating regularly is really important. Even if you're not hungry, just have something that's going to help raise your blood sugar levels. We also need to remove hard to digest toxins from our food, also in the environment, and the chemicals and all those types of things that, hi Jacqueline, hi, thanks for joining us. Yeah, all of those types of things, we need to take it easy on our adrenal glands, and we just need to do what we can for them. What we need to add in to our diet particularly is calcium, vitamin A, vitamin C, and magnesium. Now, all of these types of things are going to help calm our nerves. They have a stress reducing effect. So you need to make sure that you've got lots of these types of foods in your diet. And these include things like carrots, broccoli, dark green leafy veg, egg yolks, peppers, tomatoes, all of those types of things. Hi Katie, hi. And then magnesium, we need to look at sunflower seeds, almonds, brown rice, lentils, peaches. Again, magnesium, very important for keeping us calm, reducing stress in the body. Apart from that, we need to be looking at adding nutrient-dense foods that are easy to digest and help with the healing of our body as well. And here I'm talking about coconuts, olives, avocados, oily fish, chicken and turkey, nuts, seeds, seaweed is very good, and cruciferous veg. Hi Patricia, thank you for joining us. I'm seeing all the comments coming up. Cruciferous veg like cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, all those types of things. Hi Katrina, thank you for joining us. And we need to increase our fluids, because what you may find if you have adrenal fatigue is that you feel quite thirsty, and you may also have a craving for salt. Now, this is due to an imbalance in your water and your minerals in the body, your electrolyte balance basically. And you may find that drinking water doesn't satisfy your thirst. Now, the thing with water is, obviously, although it's good at keeping us hydrated, it does actually pass through the body quite quickly. The kidneys filter it out, and we sort of end up going to the loo a lot. What you should be doing is actually drinking salt water. Now, it may sound gross, but if you add and I've actually got some here because I drink it. This is my adrenal tonic, which I made, and it's a bit salty, but basically what you do is just a couple of times a day add a quarter of a teaspoon. Hi Lynn, just started to take fish oil supplements because I don't like the fish. Yeah, definitely fish oil is good for you as well if you don't like the taste of fish. But for the adrenal tonic, quarter of a teaspoon of salt, either Himalayan salt or Celtic salt, because these salts have hundreds of trace minerals in them. So your table salt, hi Sandra, your table salt doesn't really have many beneficial minerals in them. So use Himalayan salt or Celtic salt for all of your needs for salt. Add a quarter of a teaspoon to half a teaspoonful to a glass of water, just like this one. And also what I add to mine is a pinch of vitamin C powder, because I was just saying add vitamin C to your diet. Now, I was actually in Holland and Barrett just yesterday, and this vitamin C powder here, just add a pinch of that to your water with your salt in, stir it around, and I got this in the penny sale. They do those penny sales. This, I think, normally is about £22. I mean, obviously it's going to last forever, but you can actually if you need other things, then go and get it all together and make sure you get some of this, because you can add it to lots of things. You can add it to your food, you can add it, stir it in smoothies and drinks or whatever, but add it into your adrenal tonic and try and drink it twice a day. If you don't like the taste of the salt, which, you know, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but it's well worth it for the results, just to keep you hydrated for that bit longer. Add a little taste of honey to it just to get over the taste until your taste buds have got used to it. Sometimes I do, depending on what mood I'm in, but just literally a little tiny bit. So do that twice a day if possible. Drink this adrenal tonic. And don't gulp drinks either. Don't gulp down water. Sip it gently throughout the day, because this will put an extra strain on the kidneys as well, which in turn will affect the adrenal glands. So make sure that you're not gulping your drinks down. Other drinks that you can look at are herbal teas. Anything that's going to calm you or de-stress you, like chamomile tea, that we know is good. Passion flower tea is also good for de-stressing, acts on the nervous system. And the one that I picked up again yesterday were these Tulsi tea. Tulsi's holy basil, basically. That has a great calming effect, so it will soothe you, calm you down, get rid of any stress that you're having. So all of those types of things. Water, obviously we need to drink water throughout the day, like we were saying. Now, if you get fed up of drinking plain water, you can actually infuse it with things like cherries or cucumber or mint or ginger, all those types of things. And I've got one of these, which you're probably familiar with, but you just fill it up with water. In that middle bit, you actually put your fruit in. I don't know whether I can actually take it apart. Here. No, I can't take it apart. But that middle bit, you put your fruit in, then you just fill it up with water, and then it just infuses the water. So it just makes it a bit nicer, gives it a bit of flavour if you get fed up with just drinking plain old boring water. So mix that in with your herbal teas, which you can drink hot or cold. Mix it in with your adrenal tonic, so throughout the day you're keeping really well hydrated. And then another drink that you can make is called green lemonade, which is really great at supporting the adrenal glands. You need 1 green apple. So I'm just trying to read all the comments come through. It puts me off when I'm trying to, but I will talk to you all. Alison, yeah, thank you, Alison. Hi, nice, thank you for being with us. 1 green apple, 4 handfuls of spinach, 4 handfuls of kale, 1 cucumber, 4 celery sticks, and the juice of 2 lemons. So what you're going to do is throw all of those in the NutriBullet, chop them all up, put them in the NutriBullet or your blender, whatever you use, and just drink that. And that's great for, it's a really nutritious drink for the adrenal glands. What you need to avoid when you're trying to get your adrenal glands back on track are things like caffeine. Now, caffeine is very, as you know, it's not good for you. I mean, I don't drink a lot of coffee, so this doesn't really affect me. My husband drinks far too much coffee, but what I bought for him was this, and it's Dandelion coffee compound. Now, this makes a great substitute for coffee. Doesn't taste like coffee, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, but it looks like coffee when it's in the cup. I don't know whether can you actually see that? Those are actually, it's made from the root of the dandelion, which is dried and roasted, and you just put a teaspoonful, 2 teaspoonfuls into a cup, add your milk and your water, just make it as you would normally, and try drinking that. If you do need coffee, your coffee fix, then don't drink it after midday, so have a cup in the morning maybe, and then try and substitute it with a dandelion coffee or drink something different, because that really will help your adrenal glands. Even if you just do this for a couple of weeks to really sort of boost your adrenal glands, and just to see if it will have any effect on your menopause symptoms, help to calm them down a little bit, because it will really kickstart your adrenals into producing this estrogen again for you. The other thing you need to avoid for your adrenal glands are sugars and sweeteners. So look out for cakes, biscuits, sweets, all those types of things that you shouldn't be eating. Occasionally have one, but try and do a bit of a detox on it over the next sort of couple of weeks. And also make sure you check the added sugar in the foods that you eat, because you pick up a bowl of cereal, a packet of cereal, or those cereal bars, and if you look at the ingredients, you might be quite surprised at how much added sugar there is in them. So try and eat foods that contain minimal amounts of added sugar. But also, if you drink fresh fruit juice, although you've got all of the nutritional benefits from the fruit, obviously they contain lots of benefits, drinking fruit juice is almost like a condensed shot of sugar, you know, because they're quite high in natural sugar, and that can have the same effect as artificial or added sugar. So if you want fruit, my suggestion is that you eat it whole. So at least you're getting the fibre in with it as well, so it's helping the digestive system that way. Oh, hi Mary from Toronto. Hi, thank you for joining us. Nice to have you with us. The other thing you need to avoid is processed or microwave foods. All these are full of preservatives, makes it really hard for our body to digest. So try and stay away from those. What I tend to do is, I don't know whether you're the same, but when I go into my supermarket, the outer walls of the supermarket always tend to have all of the fresh fruit and veg. Hi Kimmy, hi. Cleethorpes, yay. Always, the fruit and veg, fresh fruit and veg are always on the outer walls of the supermarket, the ones that I go into anyway. I don't know whether yours are the same. And also the fresh meat and fish. So try and do the outer bit of the supermarket before you get into the depths of the supermarket, because that's where all of the cakes and the breads and the biscuits and the tin stuff is. So that might be quite good. Now you may find that you will need some supplements just to support, especially if your adrenal glands are quite sort of fatigued and you're feeling particularly stressed. You may find that you do need to take some supplements. Now I always sort of have food first policy, to be honest, but the trouble with that is, you know, that today so much of our soil, hi Gillian from Glasgow, Julie, hi, thank you all for joining us, it's great to have you with us, and Carol Jane, thank you. You're in London, same place as me. Basically, try and get all of your nutrients and your vitamins from food first, but you will find that sometimes our soil has become so depleted from over farming, from the use of chemicals and pesticides, that the food grown in the soil is actually it's short on these vital vitamins and minerals that we need. So you might need to supplement it, especially when you're trying to kickstart your adrenal glands. Go for adaptogens, and what I'm talking about here are things that actually adapt to your body's needs. So when you take them, they sense where your body's short and what it needs. And I'm talking here about maca root. That's good for balancing your hormones naturally. That you can stir into lots of food, sprinkle on cereals, yogurts, into smoothies or whatever. The other one which I don't have is ashwagandha, which you've probably heard of, or this one is rhodiola. You've probably heard of that one. All of these are adaptogens, and they will help your body getting through the adrenal fatigue. I just found this in my box. This is my Himalayan salt. It comes in a grinder. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. Most supermarkets sell it now. So remember, quarter or half a teaspoon, just about run out, into your water to make your adrenal tonic. Ginseng is also good for it. Supplements, the other supplements you can look at taking are fish oil, which we just mentioned earlier on, magnesium, which is great for relaxing muscles, for relaxing you. Have a magnesium Epsom salt bath, for example, is great for relaxing. The B vitamins, especially B6 and B12. Oh, thank you, Carol Jane. Did you say the whole name? I don't know. It's just Carol Jane. Thank you. It's driving me mad, my hair at the moment, though. So, the other things you need to look at are vitamins C and D, zinc, and calcium. So look at supplementing all of those to really sort of help with your adrenal glands. The last thing, and probably the most important, is the key to restoring adrenal fatigue is to look after your mind. Now, you know that your mind is your master, and you know how some days you can look at something and the next day you look at it in a completely different way. If you can control your mind, you have a great opportunity to control your stress levels. And you know, I'm talking about things here that you can do for yourself that helps your everyday life not quite so stressful. I'm thinking here you need to have lots of rest. So if you're feeling tired throughout the day, just a quick 10-minute break, have a cup of tea or adrenal tonic. Sleep, I know you're going to hate me for saying this because it annoys the heck out of me when I'm on websites or reading about menopause and they say, make sure you get plenty of sleep. Well, yes, we would all love to get plenty of sleep, wouldn't we? But it's not always the case. But even if you can't sleep, just prepare yourself for, I'm sorry, I'm just reading Kimmy. She's saying, will this be broadcast available to view later? Yes, it will, Kimmy. So once it's finished, it will go up onto the Facebook page so you can watch it again. So yeah, don't worry about that. So yeah, plenty of sleep, and if not, prepare yourself for sleep. So try and get into bed by 10 o'clock at night and switch off your phones, switch off your laptops and computers, read a book. Maybe have some sleep spray around the room, use your lavender and your hops, pot puree on your bedside, so you've got into the right frame of mind. Have a nice relaxing bath and just relax, because even if you don't sleep, you're relaxing, you feel calm and you're not stressed, so that can help. Have a good laugh at least once a day. Just find something to laugh at if possible. You know, I know some days it's hard and we don't feel like laughing, and you know, you're probably thinking to, oh, shut up, Jane, you know, I don't want to laugh. But if you can just have, you know, something to bring a smile to your face, it can make a huge difference. Meditation is great. If you don't meditate, then I suggest that you start. Just, hi Elaine, just start by learning the basics. Don't expect to master it straight away. It's quite hard to do, meditation is, but the rewards it brings can be phenomenal, and it really can help you control your mind, control those thoughts, all of that stress, all of those things that we worry about unnecessarily. So do have a look at that if you're not meditating already. It can make a big difference. Minimize your stress. Now, of course, you can't eliminate all of your stress. I don't expect you to be able to do that. But when you're feeling stressed about something, just ask yourself really how important it is. You know, this time next week, this time next year, wasting your time now stressing, is it going to make any difference, or can you just let it go? Some things obviously you can't. I totally appreciate that. But don't get caught up in all the little things that really don't matter. Just try and keep it all in proportion. Hi Jax. And just try and control it as much as you can. And again, meditation will definitely help you with that. Eat regularly. Don't do what I do and skip breakfast. I really must be better at doing that. Just eat regularly, even if you don't feel like it. It's going to help keep your blood sugar levels up, and it won't put so much strain on your adrenal glands. Exercise, you know, we all know we should be exercising. We don't all do it as often as we should. We're not motivated to do it. Hi Vanessa. But do try, just try and make yourself, you know, it's like I put a post up yesterday. I went for my brisk walk yesterday morning, and I did it quickly before my brain worked out what I was doing, because it is important. And once you've done it, you're always grateful, you're always thankful, that you did. Hi Linda, hi. So try and exercise, even if it's just that walk, a brisk walk, 10-15 minutes a day. Just try and walk. Avoid negative people. Hello Susan, thank you for being with us. Avoid negative people, because you know, it's all very well being a good friend to someone and being there when they need you, but there's a very fine line between them sort of always ringing you up and dumping all their problems on you. You know, you've got your own life to deal with, and especially if they don't want to listen to you, you know, you're there for them. And you may find that some friends, you know, that they just think, oh, I'll call Jane, she's, you know, I can dump all of my problems on her. And we're all guilty of it, I'm sure. But there's got to come a stage where you just say enough is enough. You know, these people I will listen to a certain degree, but I don't want my whole day being filled with negativity from these people dumping all their problems on me so they just feel better. So really, you know, reassess your friendships with people if needs be. Get rid of the negative people in your life, and keep the ones that you really value, that you know that will listen to you when you've got a problem as well. And make time for yourself. It's really, really important. Hi Stu. it's really important to, whether it's once a day, once a week, once a month, just do something for you. Now, that doesn't have to involve spending loads of money. You could just go to the art gallery if that's what you enjoy, or you could just treat yourself to a new book, buy a new lipstick. Just do things that are for you, that you enjoy. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's nothing to do with anybody else. You do what you enjoy and what fulfills you and what you like. And it's not a guilty pleasure. It's just something, whether it's being on your own for 10 minutes, you know, we all need that alone time. So make sure, it really is important that you value yourself, put yourself first, and then you will feel a lot better about things. So in essence, that's it, basically. What we need to do, really looking after your adrenal glands, take the time to look after them. You may find that it's going to really minimise your menopause symptoms because you've got that extra boost of oestrogen. Remove stress all from your mind and from your body as much as you possibly can. Eat the right foods, eliminate the wrong foods. Exercise and look after yourself. Try doing that just for a couple of weeks to see how you get on, to see if your attitude changes towards things. Eat the foods that I've said, and just basically look after yourself. That's what you can do. Now, what I'm going to do is all of these things that I've spoken about today, I'm actually going to put in the newsletter, next month's newsletter, because when I did the essential oil chat last week, so many of you emailed me and was asking about the patches, you know, the essential oil patches. I don't know whether you saw the video or not, but that's it, I'm back. I lost you there for a second. Facebook does that sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to actually put it in the newsletter next month, which will be out at the beginning of September, which is only a couple of weeks away. The new one is out now. If you haven't signed up for it, then I'll put the link in for it again, and then you'll get it automatically every month from there on in. And so yeah, so all of this chat that we've done today about the adrenal glands, I'll put in the newsletter along with the essential oils and all the recipes that we went through with that for last week. So that's it. So that was adrenal fatigue, looking after your adrenal glands, and I hope you find it enjoyable. I hope you learned something. I hope you're going to give it a try. Hi Kathy. If there's anything, look, I'm here now, you know, normally I sort of say goodbye and go. If there's anything that anybody wants to ask, please fire away. I'll help if I can while I'm here live. If you've got any questions you want to know, just fire them through. If not, you know, you're always welcome to drop me an email, jane@phytomone.com, or just put a comment below, and we can try and sort it out from there. But thank you so much for being with me. I'm going to see you again next week. I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about next week. I don't know yet. There's one or two things, but it'll be something hopefully that you'll find interesting. If there's anything you want to know, just do let me know. And on that note, I will love you and leave you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a great week. I hope menopause is kind to you, and look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks. Bye bye now.